Hello and welcome to Setons. This is Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. This is a game after the official release, and we do have some good players. Siren, Snappy, and I actually haven't really had a chance to play much, but curious to see how the Navy is going currently in the top games. See how it goes in this one. Thulu, definitely a very good player, playing a Seraphim. In the middle we got Zal playing a Seraphim as well. Across from Exitus is playing as Aeon. So Aeon used to be very popular for the middle. It's very nice, but now with the aggressive Tech 1 Air, those Auroras really get have a really big disadvantage sometimes. Aeon's still very good 1v1. People don't interfere, but people will interfere. Lord No, actually a pretty decent player, playing as Aeon in the back against Chico Mombosa, and I would definitely take Chico here. Chico, classic Setons player, extremely good. I'm sure he'll do very well. Celine's running through the middle for Zal. This is Celine versus the Aeon Scout. Celine gets killed by an Aurora. You can see terrain, very big, very important, especially with Auroras. They're really good on flat ground. Two ACUs running into the middle. Zal, Exitus, very similar timing, but there is an Aurora and an Engineer together with Exitus. This can be a very big advantage. This NG already getting some mass. It's got pretty ambitious plans. An Aurora and a Scout for defense. Gotta see, maybe we'll see some fights over islands. Looks like Thulu, just pure land, looks like third air. And here's a Gesture from Control K. That's going to be a very interesting unit, that Gesture. So Control K, really a big cost to do that. A 3-minute Gesture. Here comes a drop from Snappy. He's also going early Navy. Captain Yang, actually Captain Yang, very good eco player, going for a transport. So it looks like we might see a challenge for the stop. And here comes the Gesture from Control K. He's going to go after these Engineers. See. 3 engines killed, no more Hydra. And if you could kill all the Engineers of the mid player, you're really shutting down, because the ACU is busy reclaiming instead of building. Yeah, these NGs are so precious. 4 kills now for this Gesture, and that's going to give Exitus a huge advantage. Looks like Snappy was able to take the island, at least for now. I did see a transport. It's still just sitting there, so big investment. Here comes a bomber from Snappy. Captain Yang has got to hide this transport. And in the middle, Zal retreating. Looking at reclaim, 3600 for Zal. Exitus 7000, huge advantage because that Engineer. And also, even despite of that Gesture, it looks like the eco for Exitus and Zal very similar. Disagreements about whose mask extractors these are. These are in fact the back player's mask extractors for Control K. So everything's cool. Here comes a drop from Yang. Looks like a bunch of artillery. Cyber and Artie, a whole bunch of bombers moving in, but there is a lot of protection here. This is nice. A nice interceptor taking out a transport for Snappy. Let's see if this transport can actually be successful. And yeah, those interceptors were on patrol, and that little pause right there was huge. So a big loss there for Yang. Yang not coming in with air. We got to notice already Tech 1 Navy coming out for Snappy, and in the middle Exitus pushing ahead. Zal getting the gun, and he's almost done. Point defenses for Exitus. He also has some Auroras coming in. He's got a total of 5 land factories, a couple of Tech 2 mask extractors, and I guess we go look at the final counts. Exitus 7600, Zal only 4000, and very low build capacity there, wasting a lot of resources. But that's not surprising, because his Engineers got attacked by that Gesture. So let's see if Thulu can make Control K pay for going with that early Gesture. It's usually up to the opposite naval player to make his opponent pay for going not really all in, obviously not all in, but a very aggressive move that will cost him early eco. And if you're in an exponential curve, the earlier you do something crazy, the bigger the effects it will have on you. Interceptor fight, actually quite close, but looks like Yang, it'll be very hard to call. He's flying over flak. Looks like Yang will actually lose this eventually. Meanwhile, Yang going Tech 2 Navy. Tech 2, this is Cybern on the Seraphim. Actually, no, Cybern on Cybern. This is really good that it's Cybern on Cybern. We do see Tech 1 Navy here, Control K versus Thulu. And looks like the best eco is for Momboza, Chico Momboza. Getting resource allocation after 5 power generators. Looking at the Tech 2 mass ejectors here, minute 9. Still has a couple Tech 1s. And Lord No. Quite a bit less power. Still just working on the Tech 2 power. And look at actually a little more teching mass. More mass for Lord No, but much more power for Momboza. Let's see how that works out. And we can see a lot of build capacity on the Cyber Navy. A cruiser plus is this character? Control K just might be character, but I don't know for sure. We see Exodus here with a nice Tech 1 force, couple point defenses. Zal has got both Tech 2 and gun. Got a stealth field, and now he's gonna go with Tech 2 point defense. And of course, stealth field is so nice. You can see, you cannot see that there's a whole bunch of point defenses being built. And Exodus will find out when he gets shot. And actually, it's a very bad place for him to upgrade right now. That's not good at all. See the point defenses. It's funny the point defenses aren't shooting. Let's see. Let's look at Zal. And that's because he has no radar. So the only units that you'll be shooting at are the ones that have been scouted. So now here comes the radar. He's also got some TMD, and now with the radar, he's got the ACU right there. That's getting hit. So Exodus, yeah, he's got to leave. And the great thing about Seraphim point defenses is that you cannot see the beam. So they're kind of hidden. You're getting hit, but you can't see that you're getting hit unless you're seeing the turret. If you don't see the turret, you can't see the beam. And that was a nice Tech 1 assault. Zaida's trying to save his upgrade and actually being quite successful. A and RD very good against stationary targets. Very nice from Exodus. Meanwhile, we do see a naval battle here. Control K coming in with his cruiser. Cyber and cruiser, of course, a very nice unit. And some torpedo defense. 14 kills on the cruiser. Total of Tech 1 air domination. Bombers here as well. We're seeing a destroyer halfway done for Thulu, and that's really going to make a difference. We do see Tech 1 units coming in. And cruiser can't shoot backwards. That's a not very nice micro there from Control K. Looks like that cruiser might die. He does some frigates and support. Oh, it's very close. And micro and Tech 1, Tech 2 Navy is probably the most interesting, the most fun. You really got to work the ranges. It's a little slower than for land units or air units. It's just ridiculous. And of course, now Seraphim. Every single faction has different abilities. Like Seraphim just went underwater, and it's just saying whatever. I'm gonna kill the cruisers and the frigates without getting shot once, just with torpedoes. But now here comes another cruiser. There is absolutely no torpedoes coming. Here comes finally a destroyer from Control K. Of course, Chico Momboza here with his ASF is gonna screw things up for Control K. And looks like some more Tech 1 Navy is planned for Captain Yang. Captain Yang very good at eco. Looks like he's got mass fabs. So he's using as much power as he possibly can. So he's got 8 mass fabs. Each one of those takes 131 power, gives you +1. So that's an extra +8 at a cost of about 1,000 power. Might as well do that because a lot of times people have excess. This has been used. And looks like Thulu is going to be thrown out of the water, although this destroyer already taking out cruisers, a cruiser killer. 29 kill cruiser will be destroyed. But here comes a destroyer, Cyber and destroyer, excellent torpedoes. But I'm expecting torpedo bombers now from Thulu. Even though they're Seraphim, they're still going to be damaging. Looks like this. Oh yeah, this is beautiful stuff from Thulu. He had just got from underneath the water behind the Cyber and Destroyer. The Cyber and Destroyer can't shoot backwards. He got to turn around. So he snuck in a whole bunch of shots from behind. So that's a really good use of the ability of that Seraphim Destroyer. And that's what makes tech to naval battles so awesome, because the UEF is different and AN is different. Very different units. So and now we're going to see an air fight. This is going to be a very important air fight now. See Lord No thinking about it. He's got 23 versus 24. But the micro for Chico Mombosa looks quite nice, but looks like very defensive from Mombosa. Multiple destroyers coming out, and looks like Tula is going to stay in the water. More torpedo bombers as well, actually, from a whole bunch of different players. Snappy also helping out. And now these destroyers surviving. Some torpedo bombers as well. And that's a cruiser. And that cruiser is going to die. Yeah, so Control K getting screwed a little bit. You're looking at the eco, he's only got plus 104 mass. Thulu 144, so and a lot more power. It's a lot more teching for Thulu, and he played a lot more defensive. We'll see how that pays off. Otherwise, in the other island, other ocean, Captain Yang plus 240, extremely good eco versus Snappy is 190. But of course, eventually the Rock always beats the beach in terms of the eco fight. But looking at Snappy's navy, he's got a whole bunch of Tech 1 cruisers, destroyers, a whole bunch of frigates. But this right here is a massive Tech 1 naval production, so that should be very interesting. No shields in the top, but Mombosa's air is going to make it that torpedo bomber is going to be much more viable for the bottom side. In the middle, now Zal looks like he's held on to the middle with some Tech 2 point defenses. Exitus retreating. He's got multiple Tech 2 factories making shields. So he's making an amphibious force here, except for the Obsidians. A whole bunch of mobile missile launchers as well. Not really sure what he's got planned with it. This situation, going Tech 3 land, is really the only option to break through this. Could be a good option, or Tech 3 land also gives you the ability to go Tech 3, get Tech 3 power, and of course GCs. Investing so much into Tech 2 is a questionable decision, I think. You would need quite a few Obsidians, which he actually has a huge amount of Obsidians. Just out of curiosity, just how much stuff he's got. He's got 25 Obsidians. That is a very powerful force, actually. With all those shields, he might have a chance to roll through Zal. He might actually have a chance, because that's a lot. But then the mobile missile launchers are kind of redundant here. They're a really slow unit to attack, and not too much health. But he's got to do that soon, because the amount of point defenses just keeps on increasing. That's some RD as well for Zal. And there we got this naval fight. Seeing Captain Yang putting his Tech 1 Navy on the inside, trying to stay away from with the Tech 2. A lot more submarines for Snappy. That just might make a difference, and looks like a retreat. And this is where you want to retreat with Cyber, and you want to go sideways like this. The way your units are still shooting. You see this destroyer running and not shooting at all, and then there it goes. So a victory for Snappy, a huge victory in the top ocean. On the bottom, Thule, after surviving with a superior eco, now making Tech 3. Tech 3 sub-hunters. And they also have some cruisers there as well. We might see an air battle. This will be very important. And yeah, there were a lot of very good shots there from. Yeah, this is a lot of dead units for Lord No. Kind of paid the price. He got 77 ASF, 92 for Chico Mombosa, and that could have been the 20 that he just killed right there. A lot of tech to flak in the middle as well. It's a very interesting, good-looking force, but and now artillery being shot. Not really sure how effective that's going to be. Very expensive unit by Exodus. So now we gotta see. It doesn't look like Yang is going to be able to beat Snappy after losing that initial battle. At least not in the short run. On the bottom ocean, we're going to see a lot of submarine warfare. We see a huge Tech 2 submarine force, but there is a Tech 3 sub. Tech 3 sub can outrange the Tech 2. It doesn't have stealth like these, but of course stealth doesn't work when there's visual from this cruiser. 2 Tech 3 subs, and this is what you got to do against Tech 3 subs. You got to use torpedo bombers in numbers. You got to do as much damage to them as possible, and then you got to get close to them. You can't use them, let them use their range. And with your own submarines, you got to keep them close. You make the torpedo defense do their thing. Torpedo defense kind of like shields against torpedoes. You can see that Tech 3 sub for 4,500 health versus one of these, which is 1,400. It's a lot more health for the Tech 3 subs. They're getting chased. And it looks like at the end, the Tech 3 subs are actually going to prevail. There's still too much advantage on the Tech 3 there. Yeah. Very even battle, but Tech 3 wins. It looks like the Obsidians are gonna rush through the middle. Seeing a chicken was started. More point defenses, and in this situation, Tech 1 point defenses would be the best. We're seeing a bunch of Ilchavas from Zal that should be under shields. And the Obsidians in close range, 450 damage. So they're gonna do a lot of damage very quickly. One thing I would really mix into this force for Exodus is about 50 Tech 1 artilleries. That would make his force a lot better. A lot more damage, a lot cheaper. Some Tech 3 there from Exodus, or from Zal, getting ran over. And we're seeing the Obsidians doing their thing. So far doing a very good job, because that's a lot of health. I mean, he did invest a huge amount in this Tech 2 force. And now Zal actually in trouble. In a lot of trouble. A very surprising move. Because usually Tech 2 never does this, but when you make Tech 2 in such large numbers, and with such much health, such a huge amount of health, this is a testament to the Aeon shield. They'll make any unit very good, because they just give you a lot of health. Successful attack there, but defended by Snappy. It's just that Zal wasn't able to retreat fast enough. Of course, now Chico is going to get his base, and he's already transporting a Tech 3 engineer to the middle. He might start another experimental. We don't see, actually we do see Tech 3. It's a lot of eco invested into the factories and Tech 3 engineers being produced. One thing I'm really interested in to see how well this Tech 1 Navy is going to do. Should be a lot more Tech 1 for Captain versus Snappy. Meanwhile, yet another attack, and we're missing the air fight. Lord No looks like he is at a disadvantage. Yeah, and losing air when you got a cyber navy to protect is a very bad thing to have happened to you. We're seeing a lot of submarines still for Control K. And of course, with the Tech 3 submarines still produced, it's going to be very difficult for the submarine force. Plus some cruisers. Does not look good. And here comes the force for Mombosa. Mombosa might switch to either a quick experimental in the middle or a lot of strat bombers. He's actually already got a chicken that he built with his ACU. Looking at the ecos, Mombosa at 450, he's got the double base. Lord No, 300, plus about 23,000 power. Mombosa at 33,000 power. And looks like character having some more success with his Tech 2 subs. They just started throwing in to put a lot of Tech 3 subs all over the place. And torpedo bombers not coming in. So in spite of not having air protection, Control K continues to use torpedo bombers, and they're working out quite well. Very nice micro there from Control K. While Chico Mombosa is freely flying over the enemy territory. Some scouting from Captain Yang. Captain Yang still looking at each other. Still no Tech 3 Navy, which is making me very happy. Except for Seraphim, of course. Here comes Strat Bombers. And Control K should probably go into the water. This would be a great target. Power storage next to Deck 3 power. Oh, this is very nice from Lord No. He's going to intercept the bombers. He's going to avoid the ASF. He saw that there was a bunch of units on radar that were going slower, and he sabotaged that bombing run. That's very nice. Meanwhile, Captain Yang attacking. Now, of course, these bombers are flying over strat bombers, over cruisers, which will cause damage. And there goes Control K. A nuke. Who shot the nuke? Captain Yang shot the nuke. There goes Control K. So it is now 3v3. Of course, there is also an experimental. Oh, we got a desync. So, like to ask players when they leave through the score screen, so we don't get this. But in any case, actually, some interesting things happening. Snappy might just die here. Wow. Snappy has been defeated. It is now 2v3. But with an experimental going through the middle, I don't see an experimental for Exodus, so it's going to be a complete loss in the middle, a total air loss. Strat bombers destroying Lord Knows base. That will make Thulu win his navy. It appears that Snappy's old navy is going to win anyway. Actually, a quite close battle, but I will probably have to call this one finished. Might just watch this battle with experimental running through the middle. And it looks like everybody just got on a GG. And everybody throwing in the towel. So hopefully people enjoyed this one after 32 minutes.